What's going down? Basement Banter channel. I'm Thor. Joined with me tonight, Josie Brink. Go check out his YouTube channel. Josie, show him the shirt.
Right.
We kind of thought it cuts off. There it is. There it is. There's the plug. There's the plug. Got to get the plug. So,
What's up?
the Cell Games background should be a dead giveaway on what we're talking about tonight. And this giant stack of DVDs, if you can see it, is also a dead giveaway. Me and Josie are long time Dragon Ball Z fans. Long time. Way back. Way
OG.
back. And we've been talking about ranking all the movies. Ranking them on a tiered list. So actually, Joe, throw up our tiered list there. There it is. So we'll be ranking all 18 movies, all 18 Dragon Ball Z movies. So we've excluded the Dragon Ball. We've excluded the Dragon Ball GT. We do have Dragon Ball Super Brawley. That's the end. But we're going to start with Dead Zone and we're going to work our way through. And let's do some tiered ranking, shall we? Josie,
Yeah.
how old were you when we met and I introduced you to Dragon Ball Z?
Oh, that would be 98. So around 10 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Gosh. Good times. Good times. 1998. Here we are, 2021. Let's start it off. Let's start off with the first Dragon Ball Z movie. The only one that's tied to canon, the only canonical movie, if you wanna, go with the lingo. Synopsis on the back of the DVD case: Gohan has been kidnapped. To make matters worse, the evil Garlic Jr. is gathering the Dragon Balls to wish for immortality. Then he will be able to take over the Earth and gain revenge for his father's death. Goku rushes to save Gohan, but arrives at the fortress just as Garlic Jr. summons the Eternal Dragon. Krillin and Piccolo try to help Goku, but their powers are no match for Garlic Jr., who creates a dead zone to suck the heroes into oblivion. Goku begins to show his hidden powers, but will it be enough? And it's not, because Gohan ends up saving the day. Spoiler alert. But this is the first movie, and like I said, the only one tied to canon. Josie, when I say Dead Zone, what pops in your mind?
Right away. I think, the storyline was all right, but I'm pretty sure the music was on par in the Dead Zone. The American version, I'm pretty sure it was really heavy metal that I remember.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That'd be my
no,
first.
They had, because that would have been Toonami, like Cartoon Network, the dubs of the early Funimation days. So yeah, they had heavy metal and some what's it called? Some techno mix in there too. But yeah, definitely heavy metal. One of the things when you talk about music in Dead Zone, you can't not talk about when Gohan gets tipsy on, is it the fruit?
Oh, yeah.
And he has that like hallucinogenic dream thing where he's like bouncing around. That's one of the, that's an interesting part of the movie. But yeah, Dead Zone, I think of that end battle. I just think of like, also when they show up, all of the bad guys have like spice names, right? Like cinnamon and stuff like that, if I'm remembering right. Or at least they did in the original American version.
Yep.
Okay, so where are we going to start off? Where does Dead Zone rank on our list? Now, let's pull up our list one more time. Let's go over our ranking system. So we have all the way at the bottom, one ball, obviously. Then going up from there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if you're good enough, the full Shenron, 7 balls. So Dead Zone for me, it's definitely upper echelon. It's not full Shenron. I'll kick things off. I'm going to say Dead Zone for me is around, a 5-star. It's about a 5-star.
Whoa, 5's very good. Is that not?
Yeah, five's high. Yeah, because it's better. Yeah, 5's high. 5's high, but it's the only canonical one. It's got definitely fight scenes that I like.
Yep, I agree.
The music is good. So yeah, I'd go 5. I go 5. What say
Yep.
you?
I want to go 4 stars as far as I can remember because there's
You
nothing too
you
far in
you think
my
4,
number
huh?
that written me in the mind. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I
Hmm.
would have to because it was about
Why do you
immortality.
think it deserves to come down just from 5 to 4?
I
Why do
think
you think
I think
that?
story plot. Well, you see, now I'm going back. I got to remember this is the first movie, and we're talking in the '80s, I believe this was made, right?
1989
You know
release.
what? Now,
Yeah.
now that I got to say a better credit because it was about immortality back then, and you know what? That's what the whole story's thing's based on. So you know, given that it was one of the originals, you're right. I would almost go 5.5 if I could. 6.
We're not
Yeah,
doing halves. It's whole balls or nothing. Um
6 stars
all we
because
deal with
now.
around here is whole balls. So 5 whole balls, dead zone. Boom.
Yep,
I think we're in lock on that. All right.
yep.
Moving on. Movie number 2. And I don't know if this is number 2. This could be number 3. I'm not sure. This is not in order of release. This is just in order of how I had them on my shelf when I grabbed them. Simple as that. Triomite. Or no, World's Strongest. I know what's going on. I do this occasionally. Um, oh, this is a long paragraph. So, but the sinister Dr. Wheelo has been freed from his icy tomb with his dedicated and devious assistant, Dr. Cochin. These names, man, I'll butcher them all day. These mad scientists are plotting to unleash their fearsome biotechnology and take over the world. Of course, there's one hitch in the plan. Dr. Wheelo exists only as a brain in a jar. The evil doctor must seek out the body on a body on Earth that is strong as his mind is. Amazing. I am really bad at reading. I'm not going to read the rest of it because it keeps going on and on and on, and it's like way too long of a synopsis. But World's Strongest, the
Real
brain who
quick,
makes them all come there. Yeah, go ahead.
can you give me since you're not reading them in order? What do you know what the year this is? What year it says on this one?
90. This is
He's
90.
So
he's been
that's
accurate
fresh.
so far.
So this is another one that everybody I want to say came together. I think even Master Roshi was fighting in this one, and
Yeah,
where
Roshi shows up.
he shows ass, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure he was
Roshi,
kicking like he had a good part if I remember right.
he does. He does.
Yeah,
Now that you have jogged my memory, yeah, this is one where Roshi has a really strong showing. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've seen this movie, but the fight at the end is meh. It's not one of the upper echelon end fights for me for World's Strongest. Like I really like the movie, and I think it's premise wise really good, like plot wise, but I don't know where I'd rank it. They fight that big squishy guy in it. I'm trying to think of some of the battles early on. I think some of the battles early on stand out to me more than that end battle scene where he fights the big brain in the robot thing. Okay, so
yeah.
you start on this one. Where would you rank this? How many stars or how many balls? Sorry, not stars.
You
How
know
many
what?
balls?
Movie, and I loved the. I remember this is another good one with music that had heavy in it, and it had our old school kind of techie sound in it. And then Roshi, I remember Roshi being pumped up and saving the day for in like a rock chamber. And then yeah, this is a this is a I'm gonna go gosh. It's 5 out of 7, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna give this one a 5 again.
We're at 5, huh? Oof. Starting off with 2 at level 5. I like it. You know what? I would agree with that. This is on par with Dead Zone, like literally very locked up, and like I said, it's the second movie. So it has um some of the stuff that we maybe don't like as much down the line or that, they improve upon in later movies, but you can get away
Definitely.
with it when you're early on
When you
in your movie dumb. Yeah, that's a
if you've
word.
never seen
Sure.
somebody, it would be one I could show,
Right. Oh
to
yeah,
a new
yeah. Yeah,
to a newbie.
World's Strongest would definitely be one I would, I would show somebody straight off the bat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 star. five
Yep.
balls. I'm gonna mess this up a whole bunch of times. All right, moving on. Movie number 3, one of my all-time favorites, Triomite. I just kept saying it because I wanted to get here. I actually watched this 5 o'clock this morning. It is very, very, very good. This is one of my favorites. I think this was the first Dragon Ball Z movie I ever saw on like a burned VHS. Like someone had recorded it on a VHS off of Cartoon Network. And that's how I saw this originally. But this one, I'll go ahead and read the back because this one's a little bit shorter. Triomite the movie, a seed of the tree of might, which they also called the Shenron tree, or like the I don't ever think I've caught this before, and it may be because I don't think I watched this cut growing up or when I was younger. I got this cut later. But in this cut, they had talked about the Triomite also being called the Shenron tree. So like the fruit that it bears is only for the eternal dragon, which is it's just an interesting thing that like
Yep.
I never heard early. But a seed of the Triomite has been planted on Earth by a group of space pirates. Once rooted, the tree of might will devour all life and energy on Earth, leaving the land deserted with nothing living, or where nothing living can survive. Goku and his friends try to destroy the tree, but their power is not enough. Suddenly, they are attacked by the evil space pirates, and Gohan is captured by Turles, who looks exactly like Goku, the evil leader of the group. And the Saiyan Turles' he powers up by eating the fruit. Will Goku be able to defeat him? Well, I wonder. Spoiler alert, he does. But Triomite is awesome. It's a little slow in the get-go when he meets Ix and the fire in the beginning when the forest burns down. They have to gather the Dragon Balls. It's a
Yep.
slow burn. But once
This.
you get that final 30 minutes of it, it's nonstop till the end. Gohan transforms into the monkey, terrorizes, beats up Goku, then goes for Turles. Goku just cuts his tail off at the end, so you get some of that early Dragon Ball Z nudity, which is hilarious. Because I think they still try to cut. No, this is the uncut Japanese footage from the original. That's why it's different, and that's why they say the Shenron tree. But Triomite, where does that stand for you? What do you think when I say Triomite?
Triomite is awesome. What stands for me? Gosh, it's it's the thing that it's another guy that looks like Goku, and what reminds me of this is another movie where Goku Black comes into play.
Okay, yeah. In the Goku
Two
Black, in the saga in Super.
And you know what? The way this guy, what's his name?
Turles.
Turles. The way Turles
Yep.
talks, I remember, it was just weird and off in the whole video. It kind of threw me off. And I don't know. I was watching Goku Black a few weeks ago, and that was a real, that's a real Goku. That's what a good movie. This was just kind of it's kind of weird how they tried to take Goku against Goku, and the character kind of threw me off a little bit. But Triomite, the story and the plot was very Dragon Ball-ish, very early-ish, and I did appreciate that very much. And this is still a very early movie, which is it hits different spots, so it's hard to
Right.
judge it. But
They
compared to the
used
new,
Triomite. What'd you say? No, go ahead. Sorry.
Better with Goku Black.
Oh,
Another
definitely. The super saga with Goku Black is far superior than Triomite for sure. It's just a stronger arc, versus this movie. The one thing I will say about Triomite is they used a lot of the fight footage of Triomite for the opening of Dragon Ball Z, like the original Toonami version, that Dragon Ball Z, you know what I'm talking about? If we play the music, we'll get copyright claims, but they used who's all Turles' men. There's just a bunch of those parts where Goku double blasts two of his guys. That's like a bunch of the opening cutscenes in the original Dragon Ball theme is from Triomite. So just for that reason alone, just those fights, I think for me put it, gosh, you know what? I can't believe I'm going to say this. And this next movie cannot be 5 stars or 5 balls. Dang it. 5 balls. This is another 5 baller because
I
it's on the same level as the other two, and it has the same good plots and the same pitfalls. What do you think?
well, I think our delightful guest potentially disconnected, but I would call this a six ball movie. It's totally a six ball movie. I don't know what you're on, Thor.
Why would you jump it? Why the voice of Joe? Why would you jump it up a ball from 5 to 6? What separates this one from the 2 previous ones to get that extra ball?
So I'll go nostalgia is a big part of it.
Yep.
Like you said, a lot of the parts of the intro come from this, and it's got a lot of classic Dragon Ball Z stuff that you want. It's got it's got Goku, obviously. It's got transformations, whether they be to the Zaru monkey thing or power up transformations. I think the Kaioken happens in this movie, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
then you
he
get
goes Kaioken. Yep.
And then you get a spirit bomb, and it's Goku, beating up Goku in just a who can punch harder contest, essentially.
Right, exactly. Well, because Turles eats that fruit and then he powers up, and then Goku, needs the spirit bomb to take it, but the world's been dying from the tree. Okay, you know what? You have swayed me, good sir. You have swayed me. It's a 6 baller. It's our first 6 baller. Triomite, 6 balls. All right, so the next movie up is one of my personal favorites. And I'm probably going to say that like for every one of these movies, but Lord Slug. Lord Slug, what I remember most about Lord Slug, in my personal opinion, is the music, because it was one of the first ones that had some like heavy metal riffs in there, at least in the English original music. I cannot remember what band. Let me see if I can find any of the names on the back. But there was some rockin' heavy metal riffs in Lord Slug. What do you remember most about Lord Slug there, Josie?
But I like that they brought back the Namekian, and he actually had his own movie, and just like Piccolo did back in the World Tournament, he fucking got all big, huge, but he got chopped down the side. Down the side.
No.
And he came there, I'm guessing, because he's a Menekium, that's how he bought the Dragon Balls. So that would make sense.
Right.
That put that, a lot of stories, they really don't tell you Dragon Balls. That one makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, Lord Slug, he had a great it's been a while since I've actually watched Lord Slug, but he had a great crew of dudes with him that kind of wrecked shot when they first did it. Now there is one thing about Lord Slug, like, because Lord Slug's got a lot of good parts. He doesn't go full Super Saiyan yet in the movies. He's like Kaioken times 10 pretty much at this point. But how they beat him at the end is a little. Icarus comes into play, the purple dragon. And there's like whistling that comes into, isn't it whistling that comes into play? Something like that. Like,
horrible, but I think it was Gohan that started the whistle.
Yes, it's Gohan's whistling. Yes. That for me brings it down just a snare, like just a hair. So let me see, where do you got it placed at right now?
On our tier board over there, I'll
where would you put it?
I'll give it a 5 star.
5 star. That's high.
Tribute.
That's high. I was thinking more. I was feeling, gosh, I like Lord Slug. Trust me, I do like this movie, but I almost feel like it's more of a 3 star, because it does have like the whistling part. There are some parts where you're like, ooh, there's some of that. Yeah. There's some of that in there.
Rewatched it, I'd probably cringe a little bit. Yeah. Right.
If you rewatched it now, would you probably give it as high a ranking as 5 stars, as 5 balls?
No, because the reason I never rewatched that one too much. So
yeah, it's fun. It makes me want to watch it though, just because. Gosh, that's right. He had that little. Oh man, just the cast of characters on the front of the box is just great. Okay, you know what? Let's split the difference.
All right.
Let's go 4 stars.
Yeah, we'll give it that. Okay.
We give it 4 stars. All right, we're gonna give it 4 stars. All right, I think we're moving on. All right, next one up. We get the introduction of Frieza's brother, Cooler's Revenge. So Cooler's Revenge takes place right now. It's weird because Cooler's Revenge like ties into canon, but like we've talked about, like none of the movies are really canon. So whatever. Okay, so it's Frieza's brother. It's after Goku beats Frieza on Namek.
Yep.
Which he disappears for a year, but they totally wash over all of that. He's somehow back on Earth, and Future Trunks is not showing up, and Cooler comes looking for him because he wants to, kill him for killing Frieza, who doesn't really like, but it's his brother, so he kind of has to do it. I've always loved Cooler's look. I got one of the Jack Pacific Coolers, which I still think is one of the best Cooler figures that they ever made. This is a good movie. This is the first time he turns Super Saiyan. Goku turns Super Saiyan in the movies. He's got that sun moment where he's like not sun moment, but it's like a giant, ball, and he comes up and he's all Super Saiyan and stuff. That's what I remember most of this movie. Icarus again shows up and plays a part in it, which I didn't love. Cooler goes through some transformations, not as many as Frieza, but still some. I like this movie. I like this movie a lot. But Josie, what do you, when I say Cooler's Revenge, what pops in your mind?
It kind of Trunks does not show up in this one, correct? He does not.
No, they totally wash over that doesn't happen, or like that doesn't happen yet, because like it's non-canonical, so it's like, yeah, there's no Trunks. He doesn't show up for like 2 more movies. So okay. It's very strange. It's very strange. Cooler's Revenge is just literally Goku's ascension to Super Saiyan, but he can't control it in the movie. Like he doesn't have control over it, so he can't just turn into it when Cooler shows up. So I think he gets hurt and he's like hiding in a cave or something, and then he finally, like, instead of getting destroyed, like transforms into the Super Saiyan again and kills Cooler.
Yeah, because Gohan was very young in that one still and weak.
Yeah.
So not a lot jumps at me.
I give this one. This one's like right in the middle of the road for me, so it's about a 4 star. Because it's right, it's middle of the road. It's good. It's not great. It's not awful. It's right there, middle of the pack. 4, maybe even 5. 4. No, 4. I'm going 4.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4 because
you agree with that? Yeah. Okay. And really, only what gets it a 4 is that he goes Super Saiyan. Outside of that, I mean, Lord Slug and Cooler's Revenge were like the quality is so high, I think, in the first 3 with like Triomite, World's Strongest, Dead Zone, that those movies, they're not bad, but they just don't keep up the quality.
Right.
So Cooler's Revenge. We're good with it being 4 stars. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on to its better.
Like I said, the quality dipped a little bit, I think, in Lord Slug and Cooler from the first 3, but now we start the uptick back. The climb starts here. Cooler's Revenge. Now, you just said Cooler was middle of the pack. Yes, that was Cooler's Revenge. The Return of Cooler. Sorry, I think I just misspoke a second ago. The Return of Cooler. This one is a much better film than the first one, and the main reason is Vegeta. Vegeta is heavy in the Return of Cooler. He's not utilized much in Cooler's Revenge from my recollection, but he is heavily in the Return of Cooler. They're on like a different planet. I think it's like New Namek. Isn't it New Namek? Cooler starts eating New Namek. Yeah, because he's like this giant like planet now, and he's like this machine, and he's like a bunch of Coolers. That has some great fight scenes in it. The Return of Cooler so much better. Him and Goku's like back and forth throughout the entire movie and then both of them can turn Super Saiyan now, so you just get a lot better action going in the Return of Cooler. I like the ending. For me, it ranks a little bit higher. What do you say, Josie? When I say Return of Cooler, what pops in your head?
I believe the Return of Cooler right away, where Goku and Vegeta come up and they finally defeat Cooler, I believe, and they're laying there on the mountain just fucked. I mean, screwed up, and then they hear the noise. They look over the peak, and there's 100,000 Coolers like coming their way.
Yes, because they were just wrecking them. And they think that, we beat the one dude, and then there's just an army of them. Yeah,
that was a 6. And then when they were getting their power sucked, and Cooler's just talking crap to him, and then him and Vegeta, they both Super Saiyan up and just blow the power beams right off, And that's what I remember. That I do love that movie. I did like that movie a lot. I remember. So
the movie's real good, real good. I went first last time. You go first this time. How many balls we giving it?
So if I could give it, I would give it a. I'd give it a solid 5.5. So I could go 6.
5? 6?
5,
I was thinking 6. I was thinking 6. I was thinking a 6-star. It's one of my. It's you know what? I'm gonna put this one over the side because I'll be watching this one sooner than later. Return of Cooler. It is a 6-star. It is. We're close. We're getting close. Now, maybe one of the movies I have the most figures from back in this time period. Super Android 13. The androids make an appearance in the movie saga. Movie saga? Heck yeah. My new thing. Movie saga. So the androids show up. So we get Android 13, 14, and 15, right? And I honestly, it's been such a long time since I've seen this one. Oh yeah. You got the gray one, and that's right. Okay. Trunks shows up, like we talked about. We talked about this earlier. Yep. Trunks and the Sword show up. He does some butt whooping. Everyone's going Super Saiyan by this point, so it's just Super Saiyans everywhere. Android 13 goes through some cool transformations from when he's like the trucker dude, and I still got an unopened Android 13 with the trucker hat up there, Jack specific. Oh yeah. But then he goes into this giant blue with like orange Super Saiyan hair. He's right here in the back. That guy. This is a good movie. It's not quite Return of Cooler good, in my opinion. How good, in your opinion, Josie, is Android 13? Super Android 13.
Well, compared to Cooler, not as good, and it was also more. It was more comedic because you had the little guy with the red going around, and he's like this tall.
He was the Android. He was the Android 14 or 15, right? The little blue one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Our purple guy. Forget.
And then the trucker guy I loved, but what I liked was when they were in the truck or in the car and they're all driving together. There's just I don't know. That was funny when the androids tried to act like humans, but this is a great movie.
Yeah, that movie does have some decent comedic parts to it. But I think we both agree it's not quite the level of Return of Cooler. And I wouldn't say it's. No. I'd say it's better than Cooler's Revenge. So almost by our own logic, that would put it at a 5-star.
I would say solid 5.
That's a solid 5. Because
little guy.
We had Cooler down there at 4. Or the Cooler Revenge at 4. What? Lord Slug was at 4. So and then Return of Cooler jumps up to 6-star, and this Super Android 13 solid 5. A solid 5. Now this one's going to be contested regardless of how we rank this. I think this is probably going to get the one. This might be the one that people get the most feedback from.
Ooh, hot take incoming.
The first Brawley movie. The first of what? 6 dozen? Oh my gosh. I opened this up. I got Brawley cards, Dragon Ball Z. Oh, there's a foil one in there. Guys, you're not ready for that. You're not ready for that. Boom. If you still play this old Dragon Ball Z Brawley game and you're looking for some, power cards, hit me up. There's a thing for Yu Yu Hakusho in here. This is a really old DVD. Sorry. Okay. The first Brawley. Brawley, the legendary Super Saiyan, the uncut feature, the first rendition. So this is the origin of the first Brawley is he is on some like distant planet with his dad, but his dad controls him with this like zapper thing, pretty much. The collar. Yeah. The collar, right? And then they have like they come and they tell Vegeta, like, we have this new Vegeta that we want you to come be the king of. And it's all a ploy to get Vegeta out there to kill Vegeta, because I forget what Brawley's dad's name is, but he's got beef with Vegeta from when Vegeta's dad kicked them off of the world, like pretty much exiled them from real Vegeta, which is when they take up this like new Vegeta place. But Brawley has beef with Goku because Goku made Brawley cry in like the nursery or something like that. And so that's why that Brawley has like this like massive hatred for Goku in the movie, which like drives him. Brawley, the legendary Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
They get Vegeta and Goku, and Roshi's there for some reason. A bunch of them go to New Vegeta, and they find that they've had this like little other race enslaved there, and then Brawley's just Brawley, right? Like he's super quiet and like super withdrawn, and then he has these mad flashes of rage, and they keep like chasing. Goku's like chasing this like power across the galaxy, and that's how he shows up on the planet chasing this energy, and Vegeta and the rest of them are already there because they came with Brawley and the dad. And then the fighting ensues, and it does have some of the best movie fighting in the movies. I mean, it really does. I mean, Brawley and Goku and Vegeta, and there's another Brawley. There's 3 more Brawley movies to get to, so it's gonna be tough, right? We could literally just do a video just on Brawley and the Brawley movies. Maybe we will, but for the ranking of these Dragon Ball Z movies and this Brawley movie specifically, I'm gonna go with a. It's a full Shenron. It's a full Shenron. Because it is legendary status. He is the corner of my. He literally is front and center on my shelf, like right in the front corner. He is a beast. The first Brawley is just a behemoth. I mean, the Jack Pacific guys were just. I mean, let's talk about for a second how great these guys were. But I mean,
What's up?
Just the introduction of Brawley as the legendary Super Saiyan puts this one as a full Shenron. But Josie, wax poetic about how great this movie is for a second.
Man, it'll make you shiver the way Brawley keeps repeating Goku's Saiyan name, Kakarot, in the video.
Kakarot.
Keeps says in it, and you want them to throw down so hard. And then, God, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Brawley super pale and skinny and tall?
Mm-hmm. And he has like green hair, yeah. And then he just goes. I mean, look at them shoulders. Look at those caps. I mean, traps.
Yeah.
Traps for days. Let's get a shot of the traps there. I mean, just full on. Oh, Brawley. It's so good. It's such a good movie, and I think people. I think people sleep on this one because of the new one, but you'll get my ranking on the new one. Don't worry, we'll get there. That's the last one. That's the last newest one. But for this one, it's a full Shenron. It's legendary, like Josie said. Go watch it if you haven't. Apparently, and this makes me really sad, is there's a bunch of people who like say they love anime who have never seen Dragon Ball Z, and that to me is just, I mean, how could you? I mean, come on. So, all right, moving on.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're gonna watch something, go watch Brawley. That's what we're saying. That's exactly what we're saying. Bojack Unbound. Bojack Unbound's our next movie on the docket. Bojack Unbound. I'm gonna let Josie go first on this one. What Bojack Unbound? What was the deal?
Let me make sure I'm on par with Bojack, because that would be
Bojack's more of a Gohan movie. This is like movie universe, movie
Okay, I
saga.
remember.
I remember what I said earlier. Movie saga. Yes.
Yep. So now this one,
It's like,
if I'm not mistaken, all the Z fighters are back fighting all together again, I believe. And wasn't that the Z? What do they call each other? They are the Z
is
fighters.
the
Z Warriors, Z Fighters, yeah, something like that.
Z Warriors. Yeah.
Whole clan
Yep.
gets back together and all fights at once. And then yeah, Roshi throws down in that one. I remember he and Goku has the power. He's got his what's his pole?
Well, Goku's not in that one, is he? Isn't Goku dead in that one?
Oh,
Because
is he really?
Is it?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm pretty sure Goku's dead in that one because it's like post Cell games again, but they're not connected to the actual like canon, right? It's post Cell, and it's more of a Gohan. Like Gohan beats Bojack by kind of beating Bojack the same way he beats Cell, with like getting all beat up and then like going all Super Saiyan ish. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Goku's alive and he is in that movie. I mean, not alive. I think Goku's dead, but he is in the movie. But I don't think he's alive in the movie, from my recollection, at least.
You're right, and I forgot that he was a teen. I remember Gohan's a teen now, so I fully remember. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Bojack, where do you got it placed, Josie?
I think it was a good lead up to what was going to happen with Gohan and Cell and everything. And honestly, my favorite characters is teen Gohan throughout the series, and he didn't last long, Gohan. So I mean, I'm gonna give it a solid 5-star for me.
A 5-star. Bojack 5 is a 5. What else? What else do we have? 5. Whoa, 5 is like, we got Android at 5. Is Bojack a 5? See, I don't know. I hear 5 and I feel like that's high ish.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, because we're going out of 7. So
because we're out of 7. So 5 is like Pat.
A 3.5 stars.
You know what? I think I'm one below that at 4. I think this is another 4-star. It's a solid movie. It's a solid entry into the movie saga. Coined my own term again. But it's not. It doesn't crack that upper echelon. And I think 5, 6, and full Shenron is, that's the top, right? That's the like the Macho Man said, the cream. Ooh, the cream rises to the top, and it's just not there. It's just not there. Okay, moving on. Brawley's second coming is Brawley's second coming. That would sounded better in my head. Hey, this one had a card in it too. Cool, unopened, in the plastic, fresh. All right, so Brawley the second coming. You talk about teen Gohan, like teen Gohan, Great Saiyaman Gohan. Bam. I mean, that's second coming. I mean, Goten's alive. I mean, you got young Trunks, you got young Goten. Goku's still dead. But Brawley shows up on Earth for I don't even remember why. It doesn't matter why. But Brawley shows up on Earth, and Gohan and Goten, for some reason, are the two that have to stop him. I think Vegeta and the rest of them try but fail and get whooped on. But it comes down to, and this will always be, and this is probably why I'm going to rank this a little higher than it probably deserves in my ranking. And you can bring me down with it. At the end, when they're all kamehamehaing together, and you have like Gohan and then Goten, and then Goku's like spirit is like pushing them from beyond, from Kankai's planet, and they're all like bathed in blue and in white and blasting the kamehameha, and they defeat Brawley, kill him. That for me, just for me, I don't know why this one sits higher than it should. It's not a full Shenron. It's not a legendary, but it is on par with Return of Cooler, in my opinion. So I would give it a 6, but I know that feels high. It feels high even to me saying it. You agree? Okay. So I thought I was crazy. I was ready for you to be like, whoa, we need to back that down a notch. It's not that good. Let me tell you why.
Well,
But if you agree,
they smashed the animation, and the way Brawley just destroyed the kids was pretty. I wouldn't show a kid that, because he literally beat these kids like face in, and you see
oh yeah,
everything.
Brawley's
find him at
Brawley's
the beginning.
man. It's not
find-
invincible level of brutality, but it's still brutal. It's still brutal.
Yeah.
2005. So here we go, real quick. So Brawley is back. He's out for revenge. While searching for the Dragon Balls, Goten, Videl, I forgot Videl makes an appearance in this movie, and Trunks unearth the truth about Goku's first encounter with the legendary Super Saiyan. Brawley survived. Now he's invaded Earth, threatening not only his arch rival Goku, but every innocent soul and on the peaceful planet. Seeing Goku's broken body laid before his feet is the only thing that will quench Brawley's thirst for revenge. Brave Goten only fuels Brawley's rage, causing him to unleash an incredible assault against Earth's heroes. Gohan and Krillin soon join the battle and face their most perilous challenge. So yeah, no, he wrecks Goten because Goten looks so much like a young Goku, and he hates Goku so much for making him cry. That's why he just wrecks Goten. Just wrecks Goten. Oh my god. Okay, it is. All right, 6.
Smacked around.
All right. This
All
one
right,
definitely. I don't think we're going to be in a disagreement about this. I don't even know if this is next, but it's coming next on our list. It's Bio Brawley. Oof, just saying it hurts me. Bio Brawley. Let's just refresh our memories. Bio Brawley. Brawley is back again. It doesn't say that, I added that. And this time, a case of mistaken identity might be the end of the planet. Is it true that Brawley perished at the battle against Goku and his sons? But a sinister conjurer has reincarnated the legendary Super Saiyan thanks to the vast wealth of Lord Jaguar, a tyrant with his own devious plan for revenge. Now, two brilliant criminal geniuses guide their blind rage of Brawley. Their ultimate goal, total domination over the planet. But can Brawley be controlled? The world will soon find out, as the most powerful Saiyan in history is unleashed with incredible new powers never before seen. Blah, 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 blah. A day of reckoning is at hand. It is bad. It is real bad. It's like a tournament or something that some rich dude throws. And then he's like cooking up this like weird Brawley dude in the basement. And he like hits the seal. Yeah, and he gets all big and he becomes this giant monster. And somehow Goten and Trunks are the ones who like save the day or something like that. I'll be honest with you, my recollection of this movie is it's spotty at best. Josie, fill in the blanks. What am I forgetting?
You're not forgetting a single thing. You're forgetting to forget the video. So,
That's
but
true.
we got Spec Dragon Ball. It is in there. I think Brawley comes back again. Isn't there another Brawley? That's the newest one, right?
not in Dragon Ball Z. Technically, Brawley does show up again.
Okay.
But it's canonical now. Hold on, we'll get there. So Bio Brawley, how low does it go? That's the question. How low is it?
Are negatives allowed?
Are negatives allowed? They're not. One is as low as we could go. Is it a 1 star?
If there's going to be a 1 star, they nailed it. So.
It's it. Yeah. If there's a 1 star out there, this is it. Yeah.
I could make a worse movie.
I normally don't say skip Dragon Ball stuff, but you could skip this. It's a 1 star. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's pointless. It was pointless then when they made it in what 20. Well, I think it came out in the late 2000s here, but it was made in, I want to say, the 90s. 2005 was the release. 1994, I think, was its inception, but released in the States in 2005, or at least when that DVD was printed. Okay, now all right, moving on next. We got maybe something we probably should have tackled earlier in the list, but we're getting to it now, so we'll tackle it now. Trunks, the history of Trunks and Bardock. Now, we are going to tackle these as 2 separate films, even though I got them in one sweet-looking steelbook here. And And I think we'll go Bardock first. Technically, I mean, if we're getting technical about it, Bardock would be the beginning of the beginning since he's the father of Goku. Bardock, go ahead. Well, Josie, why don't you start with Bardock?
Well, Bardock, are we now? Like, I'm refreshing myself here. Is that Goku's father?
That is the father of Goku. So here, let's refresh both our memories here. So Bardock, the father of Goku. Before there was Goku, there lived his father Bardock, a low-class Saiyan soldier under the command of Frieza. Bardock is attacked by the last of an alien race they are employed to destroy. Heading home to his home planet Vegeta, Bardock discovers he has been blessed with the ability to see into the future. But the blessing soon becomes a curse as the Saiyan finds himself haunted by visions of tragic extermination of his own race and the destruction of their beloved planet, all at the hands of Frieza. Bardock sets off on a nightmarish race with the fate to avert the impending disaster, but his strength falls and despair sets in. Hope will be found in one last vision. The story of Bardock, father of Goku. It's a good film. I mean, it's not like upper echelon if we're talking about like Dragon Ball Z films. It's probably it's probably that middle of the road pack. I mean, coming off Bio Brawley, anything is like a step up, but
Right.
it's it's not upper echelon for me. But after hearing the synopsis, after hearing the back of the DVD case, what rings in your head now?
Well, that it's one of the movies though. I believe that it was not a happy ending, and that's a bit rare. Dragon Ball.
No, he dies. I mean, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it by now, you're not trying to though. So I mean, whatever. Yeah, no, he dies. I mean, it's cool to see it from that perspective, and we'll talk about it later. But something they do in actually the new Dragon Ball Super movie I really liked that kind of ties into this, but not really. But Bardock getting introduced to kind of Goku's backstory, I guess, of how he got to planet Earth and who his father was. It is cool. It's not something you go back to, I would say, like over and over. It's not like some of the early movies that like Dead Zone or The Return of Cooler, some of those where you like go back to them constantly or regularly. Bardock's one you go back to once in a while, which is why for me it would probably fall at like a 3-star ball, maybe 3-star. It's right there. I mean, 3, 4 you could make an argument for, but
I was at 3.
Yeah, I don't know.
Say, going back at it, and it was a good film. It's a good backstory, but that's all it is. It's a quick backstory, and yeah, I'll give it a 3.
That's true. Yeah, 3. We'll put it at 3. We'll put it at 3. So I mean, like everything's a step up from Bio Brawley. So 3. There you go, 3. Now moving on to I think the better of these two films on the Steelbook, The History of Trunks. The History of Trunks is awesome. Now this is one that I go back to frequently, and even not in the too distant past, the too distant past. I've watched this thing recently. That's what I was trying to say. But The History of Trunks. So Goku is dead, victim of the deadly virus, last of the Z warriors to pass. The Super Saiyan death has left the Earth far more vulnerable than ever before. With no one left to protect the planet, Androids 17 and 18 arrive to terrorize the great cities, plunging all into darkness where the inhabitants cower in fear. There is no hope left in this apocalyptic horror. Is this the end? Goku's son Gohan, now a man, and with an extraordinary young teenager named Trunks by his side, the two determined to face off against this great threat. But as tragedy follows upon tragedy, the world around Trunks is fast collapsing, and there seems to be no check to the evil of the androids. The History of Trunks is super cool. Watching Gohan like lose his arm and like train kind of become the teacher and train Trunks, and then watching Trunks kind of like have his breakthrough moment when Gohan finally does get beat by both by both androids in that movie. This is one that you can go back when he's in the rain after Gohan's been killed, and he just goes like he loses it. You know, he lets it just rip. It's a powerful moment. Powerful moment. It really is. So tell me about what do you love about History of Trunks?
Yeah, you hit it. I mean, I'm a big Android fan, and this one nailed it with the androids too on how just dark and Terminator they were.
I mean, it really showed what would happen if, Goku was gone and the androids were successful, right? Like, it showed all the Z Fighters getting taken out, Vegeta, Tien, Piccolo, like early on. And then it's just humanity surviving while Gohan and Trunks kind of like fight but escape, and then Gohan loses his arm and then finally dies. And then Trunks finally gets at the end. And that's what's so cool, which is another one. This is weird. These two tie in more so to canon. When we talk about like canonical connections to movies, a lot of these prior movies don't really have one, even if they've drawn one like the cooler movies, right? They say they are, but if you really look at the timeline and when they say the cooler movies happen, Goku's like on that world after fighting Frieza. So it's like it doesn't match up, right? But these actually directly tie in because History of Trunks, he takes off in the time machine right before he comes back to kill like Mecha Frieza right after Goku lands back from what's it Zerat what's the world that he lands on post Frieza where he learns instant transmission.
I think it's the Yadrat people or something like that. I don't know what the planet's name was.
People. Yes, thank you. Yes, heck yeah, throwing the boost. Pew-pew. Nailed it. History Chunk. It's gonna go high. Or Josie, you go ahead. Give me your rating first, and then I'll go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a full 6. Big time too is because Bulma, the way she was so MacGyver badass in it.
She's older and stuff. Yeah, 6. I could see 6. I could see an argument for a full Shenron just because the implications of, you know what, 6 feels good. It's not all the way there, but it's real close, and 6 feels right. So let's keep it there. Let's moving on. There you go. History of Trunks and Bardock, the father of Goku. Ranked up. Now we're in our final 2 of like the original Z movies before we move into like the new Z movies / super movies. But this is one of everybody's. I remember when I said I was doing this, someone was like, "Oh, I can't wait to hear Fusion better be ranked pretty high, blah, blah, blah." It will be, don't worry. It's probably not as high on my list as some other people's. The Fusion is cool, don't get me wrong. Like Gogeta is dope, but the whole premise, isn't this the one where like isn't Hitler in this movie?
Well, this
and
one
Gotenks fights Hitler because like the dead people come back to life.
It was very comedic because there were all these comedy skits, all these little skits trying to be funny everywhere. Gogeta was fat as heck and messed up and screwed up the transformation. It was a totally different vibe than But what was it? What was the guy's name? Jabberwocky or Jumma?
Yeah, Jump. Here. Let me break it down for you. Fusion Reborn, the uncut movie. An industrial disaster in Otherworld has unleashed a gargantuan monster, and the Z Fighters are taking action. Janemba, arrival has thrown the dimensions into turmoil, leaving the door between worlds gaping open. Yes, and the dead are rising from their graves. Okay, this is the one I was thinking of then. To combat this juggernaut, Goku must power up his rare Super Saiyan 3 form, but shockingly, the move is not enough. It's a battle on 2 fronts, and teamwork is key. As time runs out, Goku stumbles across a wary Vegeta and devises a risky plan that might be the universe's only hope. Fusion Reborn. Because they fuse with the dance as opposed to the earrings, right? Which is super funny because they kind of have to find the time to learn the dance. But no, this is the one I was thinking of. So Gotenks ends up fighting Hitler in this film. Cell comes back. This is the one I honestly. That's honestly to me the thing that stands out more than Gogeta, more than the crazy mixture of like the CGI bubbles and all that sort of weird world stuff, and the puffy guy who turns into like the purple really fast guy. It's Gotenks fighting Hitler, man. That just it sticks out to me, like just it sticks in my brain. It's an image you just can never get rid of.
Pretty sure he sticks something up Hitler's
ass.
Yeah, no,
at
there's
the
some
end.
there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of comedic stuff when the Z fighters are fighting all the dead guys that come back. So like I think Frieza returns and Cell returns and like all the bad guys return, right? And they're fighting all like the Z fighters on Earth, and then Goku is fighting Jamba Juice. He's fighting Jamba Juice over in, Otherworld or whatever. And yeah, it's a good movie. It is a good movie. It's not upper echelon. I'm gonna start the ranking on this one. It's not upper echelon. It's good.
No.
It's not great. It's not. It has its
No.
pitfalls. Don't let the fusion thing cloud your judgment on how this isn't a 7-star here. This is at best a 5-star. At best. And I'm just trying to think of other 5 stars we have. I think that's where this one falls.
You know,
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think? You think 5 is too high?
I think it's just a tiny bit high. They had the animation.
You think maybe
the story,
one?
everything keeps you glued on, but it's not something I would show somebody for the intensity and to show you what Dragon Ball is really about. But 5, I could go 5. If there were 4.5, so it's debatable between there.
I think 4. If you're talking bringing it down to 4, I think there's, because you're right. That was a very good point too. That it's not going to. If you're going to show someone Dragon Ball something, this is not where you're going to start. I don't care how much you like this movie. This will not be where you start. It just wouldn't.
More
right? So, ooh.
Very good.
Okay, Joe's our tiebreaker. So 4 or 5, Joe?
I'm going 4.
4. 4 it is. Lock it in. Fusion, Reborn. It's a 4. Although I do want to watch this movie. Only for Gotenks and Hitler. Okay. All right. Now on to the last of the Dragon Ball Z. Okay. So now it's not really the last of the Dragon Ball Z movies, because the first 2 Dragon Ball movies that have come out post like 2010 are Dragon Ball Z. The last one is the only Dragon Ball Super, but we'll get there. But the last of the Dragon Ball Z, like I'd say the original movie run, is Wrath of the Dragon. Wrath of the Dragon, man, there's a lot you could say about this movie. It's how Trunks gets his sword. They meet that one guy. There's that golden dragon punch thing that he does. It's the first time we see that. There's not a ton that stands out in my mind. The flute thingy. Yes. Okay, here we go. There's a lot of words in here, and I can already see words I'm not going to be able to pronounce, so watch me butcher this. Let's go. Long ago, an evil magician used his powers to bring a statue to life, creating a terrible monster. Harudagarn. Nailed it. It was only through the use of 2 magic whistles, there we are, that Harudagarn was defeated and peace returned to the galaxy. 2 courageous brothers, Taipon and Minestrone, took control of the whistles and sealed them along with their own bodies in magic boxes, which were cast out into the galaxy so hydrogen could never be revived again. But when the mysterious stranger named Hoy, that's a weird name, arrives on Earth with the secret of the Hobgoblin's revival, the Z Fighters must turn to Taipon himself to answer Hoy's dangerous threats. Taipon has once before sacrificed his well-being to save the universe with H whatever name, destroying everything in sight. Goku, Trunks, and Goten must battle like never before in order to save the planet. Again, there's not a ton that stands out to me about Wrath of the Dragon other than Trunks gets his sword from that Taipon guy. And that he ends it with that weird dragon punch thing that like you've never seen and they didn't build to. It's just like some magical Shenron dragon punch that he uses once to defeat some gold like shoulder pad dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I think I don't think you remember much is because I think the beginning dragged on ever with trying to guy, and then she accepted, and I remember dragging on. I remember some good fight scenes, and I do fuck, I forgot. I don't know.
55 minutes. So it is, I mean, it is on the long end for Dragon Ball movies, especially back then, because they used to usually run, 50, 48, 55. It is, you're right, that beginning part, because there's so much backstory
Yeah.
and there's so much dialogue. They're like in a cave at one point, or they're hiding in somewhere and they're talking a lot. I remember that. Yeah, and you know what? When you remember the boring parts of a movie and you can't remember the fight scenes as much, except for the Golden Dragon Punch, it just can't get that high. I think we're looking at another 4-star here. Am I wrong?
All right. Now, four's legit, and Tapion was badass, but did Goku not use that punch one other time against? I thought he used that one other time earlier, even before he hit Super Saiyan 3.
If they have, someone will probably tell me in the comments, and that'll be great. So you go ahead and drop that knowledge for me, because if he did use Super Dragon Special Punch before, let me know.
Yeah.
But Wrath of the Dragon, there we go. The Dragon Ball Z movies, the original run, that's all of them. Now we move on. We got 3 left. The final 3, the new run, the new age
Crazy
Dragon Ball Z.
ended.
You know, there's people whose first Dragon Ball Z movie that they ever saw was this movie, Battle of the Gods. Our next movie, Dragon Ball Z. It's a Dragon Ball Z movie. It's not Dragon Ball Super. As much as people want to tell me it is, it's not. Dragon Ball Z, Battle of the Gods. This came out in, I should have done my research.
2017, I want to say.
Yeah, I can't. It was. I'm trying to find a date here on this DVD box case because professional. Why would a date be hard to find? Nope, I can't find it. So let's say 2017. Yeah, 2017. Screw it. 2017.
Looks like came out Japan 2013, and the English dub was in select theaters August of 2014.
I did see it. In theaters. I did. I saw it in the theaters in 2014. I remember actually it was the first time I ever saw a Dragon Ball Z movie in the theaters. Why? Because I don't count Dragon Ball Evolution. We just won't even speak of that. It's not in this ranking system because it doesn't exist. I did see it in the theater in 2014, so it definitely was in 2017. We're a little off on our dates there, but time. It's whatever, relative to where you are. Battle of the Gods. This movie is impressive. To come back out after, I don't know, what was Wrath of the Dragon, 2000 and whatever, but it was a long time. It was long. There was a long break between Wrath of the Dragon and Battle of the Gods, and to come out just swinging with the CGI mix, not even mix. I bet there's no hand drawn left by the time we get Battle of the Gods, and it doesn't suffer. It doesn't. It's such a good movie. Him fighting Beerus, my Bulma. Like that's I think the biggest thing that's one of my favorite parts of that movie is when Beerus whatever, and then Vegeta just goes nuts and he's like, my Bulma. Honestly, the best part of Battle of the Gods. But that is such a good fight scene, watching him go Super Saiyan, evolve to a new level of Super Saiyan where we go Super Saiyan God. Then him and Beerus have that crazy fight scene where you really are like, whoa, okay, this is what Super is gonna be. Because at this point, when Battle of the Gods came out, I think Super hadn't come out, or it had come out, but it hadn't debuted here yet, like with any English dub. So by the time we saw it, I'm like, okay, this is what Super is. Holy, let's go. Yeah. But Josie, what did you like about Battle of the Gods?
Yeah, every minute of it.
Every minute of it.
It was, Beerus showed up on his planet with Wiz, and then
with Whis
go around. Yeah.
What did you think when you saw Beerus, like the cat? Like when you see it's like an Egyptian cat god, destroyer god. I thought that was a really cool way of doing it.
I thought they were stretching it when I seen the pictures, and then his personality fit the god, fit the level, for sure.
Yeah. So
And then,
here
and
we
then
go. We'll do the back of the box quick here. Earth's greatest heroes takes his place among the gods. Stunning animation and spellbinding action sequences highlight the first new Dragon Ball Z film in 17 years. Holy buckets. Okay, that's math. Beerus, a devastating god of destruction, travels to Earth in search of an opponent who can match his brutal battle skills. Oh, say that 7 times over. Driven by visions of an all-powerful warrior known as the Super Saiyan God, Beerus threatens to destroy the planet unless the worthy challenger steps forward. Joined by an all-star cast of Dragon Ball characters, Goku must draw upon his power of his friends to unlock the strength of a Super Saiyan God and stop Beerus's evil rampage. More of a temper tantrum, and it is all tied to food, and it is all Boo's fault too, which is hilarious. Whis falling in love with Earth, that's really funny too, like falling in love with like Earth food and stuff like that, because he way more cares about what he's eating the whole time as to what Beerus is doing. And then once you learn what you know about Whis after watching Super, it's even better because you're like, Whis is whatever. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But for Battle of the Gods, the only knock on Battle of the Gods, why did we have to put Pilaf and them in there and have that side thing about the Dragon Balls and was it a bingo game? It was some sort of game that they're playing, and the prizes were like castles and Dragon Balls and jets and yachts and stuff like that. And that I could have totally done without. The whole like Trunks and Mai having a little thing, or like didn't. It was all very weird, and then it never like it doesn't work for me. That whole side stuff I didn't find entertaining. I know it was trying to be like akin to like Dragon Ball, which is where Mai and Pilaf and what's the little fox with the fox in the ninja suit's name, whatever. But those three, that's the only thing that brings this one down a step for me, and why I can't get as high on the list as some of the other films, because they didn't have those chunky side stories weighing it down at points. But that's just in my perspective.
Yeah. I can see that too, but that didn't last.
So what would
That
you
was
rank Battle of the Gods? What would you give it on our ranking system? 1 star being obviously Bio Brawley, 7 stars, the top of the totem pole.
It left a good taste in my mouth, and then to find out that Whis was even more stronger potentially than the cat, it's crazy. But I can't give it a full 7.
Yeah.
Solid 6.
Solid 6. Okay. 6. Does the side story drag it down a whole 2 balls for me to like a 5? 5 is sitting with a lot of good, like solid hitter movies there. I think I'm leaning more towards a 5. I think we're gonna have to bring Joe on this one. I'm at 5. Josie's at 6. Joe in the booth, you're our tiebreaker. 5 or 6. Where does Battle of the Gods land?
Let's go 5. The comedy stuff's a little campy. The let's hold hands and wish for a Super Saiyan thing's a little campy, but I mean everything else I agree with both you guys. It's solid.
Yeah, that's right. The Super Saiyan circle, the Super Saiyan drum circle didn't do it for me either. 5 it is. Joe's right. Bam, 2 to go. We're down the penultimate movie. One of the strongest movies. I'm showing my hand. I don't even care. It's Resurrection F. It's a Dragon Ball Z movie. It's the final Dragon Ball Z movie, the last of the Z saga, the last of the Z movies. Resurrection F. The title says everything. Frieza's back. He is golden. Revenge takes its final form. The back of the box is short. I love this one. For almost 2 decades, Dragon Ball Z has been an explosive worldwide phenomenon. And now the most iconic villain in the series is back, and he hasn't grown softer with age. Even the complete obliteration of his physical form can't stop the galaxy's most evil overlord. After years of spiritual purgatory, Frieza has been resurrected and plans to now take revenge on the Z fighters of Earth. Facing off against Frieza's powerful new form and new army of 1,000 soldiers, Goku and Vegeta must reach new levels of strength in order to protect Earth from their vengeful nemesis. I mean, it is so good. Blue Saiyans, Gold Frieza. The comedy in this one works because it's the space cop dude who doesn't really want to do his job, and he's like, yo, nah, man, like, I'm cool, like, it's good, and he tries to leave and stuff, and he like passes the buck. I don't even remember his name, doesn't matter, non-consequential. But Resurrection F is strong. It's a strong movie. Again, the fight scenes are just upper echelon, just because they're newer, so they're just good. They're just better because they can do more with what they're working with. Like, trust me, I love the hand drawn because I feel like it has more of a soul, but what they can accomplish now with these new meshes of whatever they're doing, because there could still be some hand drawn stuff, and I really hope there is, but I think most of it, like 99% is computers. It works for me though. This one works for me. Okay, now I will say this, the rewind thing, the do-over at the end is like, like at the end, remember, because Frieza wins, and then Whis like gives him a do-over, and then Vegeta stops him, right?
Yep, that's right. Totally forgot. Yeah,
but
Whis does.
Frieza being trapped in hell in a cocoon surrounded by like happy fairies and like leprechauns and like unicorns and like all these dancing, singing things. That's such a great emotional purgatory, or whatever they called it, spiritual purgatory. That it's perfect. That, oh God, I'm fighting myself on this one internally because I want to give it a full Shenron. I want to give it a full 7. But I think about that do-over, and that bugged me then. It bugs me now. It prevents me, I think, from achieving full Shenron with this movie. I think it's close. I think it's a 6 for sure. It's a solid 6. It's teeters on Shenron, but I don't know. What do you think?
You know, it's cool. Everybody was in it fighting again. I think Vegeta goes blue first time.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep. They both go blue. Yeah, because it shows their growth from Battle of the Gods to this. Yep. And then this sets the stage for what happens in Super. Okay, so we're in agreement then? 6 stars?
6, yep.
6 stars, Resurrection F. Go check it out. Resurrection F. Yeah, it's definitely worth it's worth repeated viewings. Here we go. The finale, the main event, the show of shows, Showcase of the Immortals, the 5th Brawley movie we've done. Nope, kidding, the 4th. But this one's just called Brawley, and it's Dragon Ball Super. This is the first Dragon Ball Super movie. So now technically, does this fall into the Dragon Ball Z movies? Yes, it does. Oh, I didn't include the Dragon Ball GT movie or the 2 Dragon Ball movies. I don't care. I'm including Super because it's like the same damn thing as Z. It's like the same thing. Don't argue with me. But Brawley, this is it. This one came out just a couple years ago. I saw all these. I've seen all 3 of these in the theater, which is awesome experience. Getting to see them in the theater is sweet. And I know there's new movies coming out too. I don't know the names of them yet, but there are new movies coming here. We're in 2021 at the present moment. So who knows, and maybe we'll have to revise this list someday if they put out enough new movies. But Dragon Ball Super Brawley. What I like about this movie first is they redid Brawley's whole origin. I mean, they redid everything about it. They pretty much wipe out the first 3 Brawley movies.
They had to, because when I first started Brawley again, I almost ninged. But they did it such well, making it almost a dang Shenron, like this movie.
Yeah. No, this movie. So no, they did do it well because we kind of gone over what his origin was in the first iteration of Brawley in the beginning of the list. Let's go through the back of the book and then we'll kind of delve a little bit more into what I like about this movie. what I don't like about this movie, and then where it inevitably falls, and then we're done. So fates collide in a destructive showdown. Knowing that there are increasingly powerful forces in the universe that he has yet to encounter, Goku spends all of his time training to achieve greater strengths. One fateful day, a mysterious new Saiyan appears before Goku and Vegeta, Brawley. How can a Saiyan, a member of a proud warrior race that was annihilated after the destruction of planet Vegeta, appear on Earth? With the return of Frieza from Hell, a fierce battle awaits Saiyans who have followed completely different destinies. So Frieza inevitably like brings back Brawley and his dad again, because his dad's in there in the beginning, right? They get like exiled to a planet. Brawley's too strong, right? Isn't that what they do in this one? So they still exile him to a planet where his only friend is like this monster beast, but then his dad won't let him have friends, so he like hurts the monster, and then it like won't be his friend, so he has to kill it, and then he like wears it as his like loincloth. There's layers to the new Brawley, which is part of what I liked about it. They built the character deeper. He had a deeper backstory, right? He wasn't just pissed because Goku cried in a bubble. Like that doesn't make sense. I mean, it makes sense. It's fine, but they built the backstory for Brawley, what they wanted to him for what they wanted for him to be, which I thought was awesome. And then,
Right.
huh? What were you saying, Josie?
No, nothing. Just agreeing.
Oh, I
with
thought
you.
I froze again.
Nope.
But no. So then they bring Brawley to Earth, and then he starts fighting Goku. The first half of this movie is and then another thing they did, they rebrought Bardock back. Bardock makes an appearance in the beginning of this movie, and they go back to original planet Vegeta, and there's some of that backstory building of and it's weird now that they've restarted everything. It feels like they're kind of changing the history a little bit of Bardock, the history of Brawley, and I'm cool with it in the way that they've started to do it. It totally jives with me. So Brawley comes to Earth, and what'd you say?
Oh, I think they brought it. Yeah, I think they were bringing more women saying into it too. If I remember, there was teenage women saying that are just badass
And
in that
Super.
movie.
Oh yeah, when you get into the Tournament of Power at the end of Dragon Ball Super and what they're exploring in that, I mean, I love where they're going with that. Like the female Brawley that was in that is amazing. And if they end up bringing all this together at some point, now that's where I'm like, yes. But this Brawley, once he hits Earth in I want to say like the second half of this movie is all him fighting Goku and Vegeta and him just getting better because he's so good. Like his raw talent is above anything that they've seen. That they go red, they go Super Saiyan. He's not even Super Saiyan, and he beats them. His Super Saiyan is beating blue gods, and he's just a Super Saiyan because he's that raw of a talent, right? Like it's crazy to think how they're building it, and then for the at the end, in kind of an anticlimactic way, because Goku ends up almost befriending Brawley and that girl. There's two people who like break away from the Frieza Force, right, to like help Brawley and like bring him to his own planet. They're not his own planet. They go back to his bug planet. That's right. That's how they find him, because they're like out searching and they find Brawley and his dad, and then they bring him back to Frieza. That's how, because for some reason I was drawing a blank onto how Brawley and his dad got back into the fold after getting exiled, and it was because part of the new Frieza Force had found them out in this wasteland planet or whatever. I can wax poetic about this movie for quite some time. It's 45 minutes of the best fighting in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball of any iteration. It is probably 45 minutes of the most intense, just one-upsmanship and power of just pure Saiyan awesomeness. And it's a full Shenron. I mean, for me, it's a full Shenron. It is. Which is crazy that it's like the fourth Brawley movie and it's still a full Shenron, but it is. It is. It is. Do you disagree?
Yeah. Man, I don't know. It's hard. I'm 6'7". We have to go to Joe. Yeah, you're right about the fight scenes. It's the Brawley thing bringing him back, but I'm on a 6.
Yeah. That untapped power when he just, because by the end he's so enraged and he's so crazy that they can't even. Oh man.
That's
Okay, we're going to Joe. Joe's the final tiebreaker. We're coming down to the finale. Joe, what do you say? I got it as a full Shenron. Josie's stuck at a 6. He's not quite there with me at a full Shenron. What says you?
I'm gonna go 7. They start off with that those sick, as the youth would say, that sick winter fit. Those outfit redesign was awesome.
Yes.
The backstory redone is awesome. And then they did some things that you talked about in other movies. They need to find the time to learn the dance in this one. And I love how they handle that. They just throw Frieza in front of Brawley and go, here, do this. And then they peace out. So Frieza's getting his teeth kicked in for 30 minutes while they're learning the fusion dance or whatever, which I loved that little bit of comedy. So that's 7.
Because then Gold Frieza kind of has to show what he's got against it. You know what? I totally forgot about that part. That was a good. That's a good remembrance there, Joe. All right, there we go. Brawley, Dragon Ball Super. Brawley, there it is. It's a full Shenron. How many movies is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 movies ranked for your enjoyment. Dragon Ball Z goodness. We've been fans forever. We're gonna be fans forever. Man, Josie, thank you for joining me. Kitty in the booth, Joe in the booth, thank you so much. This has been awesome. Let us know where you rank some of these movies. What comes to mind when you hear some of the names of Return of Cooler, Wrath of the Dragon, Fusion Reborn? Just wax poetic about how much you love Dragon Ball Z in the comments. Tell us what we got wrong. Tell us what you agree with, disagree with. Like, share, subscribe. Josie, tell the people where they can find you one more time.
They can find me at Josie Brink over on the YouTuber, just like you.
YouTube, Instagram, good photographer, awesome videographer, awesome dude. Go follow him. Base my banner, you know, you can find me doing my thing. The Saber Legion, you can find me over on there doing TSL Underground, all sorts of stuff there. Joe in the booth, thank you so much. Until the next video, like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.
Go.
Take us out.